Well, at the time, I didn't think so, but yes, you're right. Now you know what? I know he's recording, and now I just realized I got a booger in my nose that I would, if I weren't on camera, I would pull it out. But I now it's got to stay there for the whole show.
Well, no, 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 no. We need to allow you to. Why don't
No,
you
it's okay.
Why don't you step off camera and I'll do finger puppets or something and you blow your nose. You ever see this one? I do
Okay.
more, but hmm,
All right. All right. Let's start this fiasco, shall we?
Welcome to Comedy Centric, your place for all things comedy. Every week, we'll discuss the legends and the people who built the business, the performers, writers, behind the scenes, and stories that you have never heard. So relax, take a load off, and join us for this episode of Comedy Centric. Now, the host of your show, nationally headlining comedian, a woman with a wicked sense of humor and a killer Jersey accent, Julia Scotti.
I can't believe he did that. Did you see
what?
what Jimmy did?
No.
We were talking before we went on,
Yeah.
and I said, "Okay, let's start this fiasco." And bam, the music was right there. I didn't have to sit there with my thumb up my ass going, "Oh, here comes the music." Good job, Jimmy. Good job. Yay, Jimmy.
Are you done
Yeah.
pretty much making him emasculating the poor man?
I wasn't
Yay,
emasculating. I was happy. No, that was my way of saying I'm happy. Now you just emasculated him.
How did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't even
By
say
saying I
anything.
was emasculating him, I wasn't. I was applauding him in my own arthritic way.
I'm getting old.
Anyway, where are you? You look like
I
you're in an
need
official position.
Botox.
You got Botox?
No, I need it.
Oh.
I'm at work. I'm at my offices.
Oh, what's that poster behind you?
Look, Julie Scotty, funny
Oh,
that way.
we know that poster.
Available wherever you get your
Wherever.
fine
That's right.
DVD. No,
That's right.
video on demand.
That's right. That's right.
I got my DVD and my
Good call. Did
VOD.
Susan Sandler tell you to do that?
She did. She said,
She called and
Kathy.
said,
She said, Kathy, here's a 20 if you put that in the backdrop. I said, make it a 40, and she didn't know how to make a $40 bill. And I said,
I'm having
two
a
20s.
ear problem. So what are
I
you
said, or
doing?
give
What's
me.
new?
Well,
What's new?
I went to the hockey. I went to a hockey game. This hockey
I
game.
saw that. Tell me
Yeah,
about it.
it was fun. It was even a minor league thing, but
It's probably more fun than a regular one.
it was, and it was
Do
cheaper.
you, do you use smaller pucks in minor
No,
league?
no, they use it, but boy, really close, and they come flying up and they hit the glass, bang,
Yeah.
bang.
It's like, so who won?
Not the team I was there to see.
And
They
what
got
was the team you were there to see?
the Wheeling Nailers. They were playing Iowa. They got smoked 7-2.
What are they? A bunch of roofers that formed the hockey team?
Well, I don't even know what their mascot is. I took a picture of
A
myself with
big
them, and I
big nail. It's like a 10-penny nail.
no, it looks like
Oh,
it's like a red dog, and there was a beaver on the ice too, and he had these little buck teeth,
well,
and
that's
he was
always
skating
fun.
around, and he was really cute, and I wanted to take my picture with him, but I couldn't find the beaver at the end
Well,
of it.
nobody loves a beaver more than you do,
That many people have said that. Many people
with
said
the
that.
exception
What
of me, possibly.
you
Yeah, go ahead.
had a big weekend.
I
Are you
did.
still full?
I don't even want to tell you. Prior to us going on the air, there was a struggle. There was a power struggle going on in the powder room. I was in Carlstadt, New Jersey I was asked to be a celebrity judge. So for the third annual Pizza Bowl, it's a contest to determine who has the best pizza and meatballs in New Jersey, all to raise money for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. If the people don't know what that is, after 9/11, this foundation was formed, and to help, if someone had died in a line of duty in 9/11, this organization pays off their mortgage,
Mm.
so the family doesn't lose their home, and they've continued it now with policemen and firemen, and I think they even military. So it was a great cause, and there were all kinds of real celebrities there, not just
Not
me.
most celebrities like you.
Well, they had Ken Rosado from WABC in New York was there, and oh God, I can't remember Steven, the football player Steven. God, let me gotta look it up. Talk for a second.
Well, and Steve Trevelise was there, right?
Steve Trevelise was there,
And and our buddy Paul Marzano, right?
Paul Marzano. They played. Aloha Monkey played the whole.
Paul is the guy who does the killer intro for our show, all the music.
That's
He gave
right.
us that song.
That's right.
Good man.
That's right.
Did you find the ad there, Fat Fingers?
I'm still looking. Jim
Sorry,
Murdoch.
we're not doing anything here. Don't worry about
Jim
it.
Murdoch from New Jersey's 12. Here it is.
Was
Stephen
this
Baker
woman there?
She was there.
Okay.
Stephen Baker from the New York Giants, former Giants. They call him Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, because apparently he had. See, can you see him? I don't know if you could see him. That's him.
Yes,
Do you recognize him?
No, I don't. I never heard. I don't know him.
But my favorite guest of all time.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
Bill
right.
Persky.
You know who? Oh, Bill wasn't there.
No, Bill.
Shut up. Wait a minute. This guy. I'll give you a clue as to who this guy was. Good loving. Give me that good love. Good loving. All I need is. Look, can you see him? That is Eddie Brigatti from the Young Rascals or the Rascals. And there's Paulie next to him. I don't know if you can see playing with them.
He's so cute.
He is cute. Paulie was in heaven because
really?
Eddie got up and sang 2 songs with the band. And it was awesome. And I shouldn't spill the beans on this, but Eddie said he would come on our little show. So I'm trying to work that out, and that will be very, very exciting.
Did he ever play at the Jade Fountain?
No, but the guest we have coming up in a couple of weeks, there's a direct connection to the Jade Fountain.
You're like Kevin Bacon with this. You're 7 degrees of the Jade Fountain.
It's funny how many things came out of that place.
I know.
But this, I just booked him today. Should I tell you who it is, or no? I'll save it. Okay. But our guest today. This woman
makes stuff happen.
She is. When I came back to comedy, she was. One of the first thing I did was I knew I had to get, even though people had known me before as the other guy, I had to get my name out again. So I entered this contest called the Ladies of Laughter on the recommendation of Chris Rich, our buddy Chris Rich.
Mm-hmm.
So I did, and I got in, and it opened up a lot of doors for me work-wise. So Peggy Boyce, the founder, producer of Ladies of Laughter, is with us tonight, and I'm really excited. I get to call her PB because we're buddies. So
together you're PBJ.
That's right, PB and J. I know, that's exactly right. That's what we said we're gonna do. So right about here, Kat, unless you have something you want to throw in. No?
Good.
Okay.
Let's
Alrighty. Right about here's. Well, Jimmy did such a good job with the music, the intro music, that right about here is where you should
critique everything Jimmy does.
No, I said it's
go ahead and just the poor man.
No, right about here is where the outro music should come in. Because I don't hear it. Do you? He's trying frantically to get it up. All right, what we're going to do is. Oh, you hear it?
Yes, it's blaring loud.
Don't gaslight me.
I'm not. You don't hear that?
Don't gaslight me.
Julia, you didn't hear that? That music blasting just now. You don't hear that? Jimmy, I'm concerned.
Old. It's not polite to mess with the old.
Please.
Oh, yeah, I hear it now. There it is. Okay, you're right. We'll be right back, right after this. Hey, listen, my album, Julie Scotti Jersey Fresh, is available everywhere now. You can download it wherever you want, everywhere. It's really kind of funny. It's like $10. Come on, buy the damn thing, will you? And also, check out on the Dry Bar, my comedy special, Dry Bar Comedy. It's called Julia Scotti Jersey Fresh. So you can. It's my understanding that if you sign up for Dry Bar, you can see like 100,000 comics on there. But you, of course, have to watch mine. But you get a free month. I think it's still going on like that. So, again, my album, Primal Cuts, and my special on Dry Bar, Jersey Fresh. It's so simple. Come on, do it. Do it for me. Do it for your mom. I love you. Bye. Me before there was no music. I know better.
Honest to goodness, there was music.
No. Well,
You're
we're
gonna
back.
see. You know what?
What?
You're gonna see.
Yeah, because he's
And
gonna
then
put it in post.
No, because I'm sitting there going, "You hear that?" And it gets louder, and I go, "You hear that?" And it gets even
How many
louder.
times have you gaslighted me and I had no idea? And then you go,
Never.
no, Julie.
I never
Million
gaslighted you.
Million times. Tell me about that poster behind you. That's a cool. Oh,
You like that? That
I do. Let me get a
critically
mint.
acclaimed.
Let me get a mint
Documentary.
because I'm gonna. By the way, our
Sam.
show is brought to you today by Breath Savers. And if you guys want bigger spots, pay us.
How about Blistics?
And Blistex. That's so if you get chapped lips from sucking on one of these or sucking on one of anything, put some Blistex on it. All right, we're gonna get this going. I think this lady, I just absolutely love Peggy Boyce for a million reasons for what she does for comedy, what she does for women in comedy, and she's just one of my favorite people. And she and I have our favorite hot dog stand in Fort Lee, New Jersey, called Hiram's. Oh yes, I've taken you there too. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so put your hands
I
together.
remember. My cardiologist remembers. Everybody remembers.
Please welcome the inevitable and the indomitable First Lady of Laughter, Peggy Boyce.
So happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Wait, move your
Yes,
head over a little bit. Move your
She's
head
so
over.
bossy, Peggy. I don't know why you deal with her.
Well, I see half her head. All right, that's good.
Is that
That's good.
better? Okay. And you made
What?
me take a shower in the evening, so my hair's not.
I didn't make you
didn't-
take it. You could.
well, you know,
It's not smell-o-vision. You could have taken. You could have come on filthy dirty for all I care.
You know,
But
I
you don't-
could have. This is not smell-o-vision. I could
It
have.
isn't smell-o-vision. Oh my God!
I wanted to be like fresh for you.
Well, you look great.
You
It's
do.
nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I
I
have
know
heard so
you're-
much about
Oh,
you from
really?
this lady.
Did she tell when we went to Washington State?
I have it. We're going to cover that in a minute. By
Okay.
the way, you sent me your headshot, and I thought it was a 1940s movie star. It's beautiful. I would
Which
ask
one was-
Jimmy to put it up, but we haven't got that much time.
Like this? The newscaster?
It's gorgeous. I mean, you're a beautiful woman to begin with, but you look absolutely stunning in this picture.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Are you sure it was my headshot? Somebody else didn't send it to
the
you?
sexy one. Wait a minute. Let me see the sexy. Talk to her, Kathy, for a minute.
Peggy, are you up in New England somewhere, or are you in New
No,
York?
actually, I'm in the Hudson Valley. I'm in Peekskill, which is, it's about an hour from New York.
Okay, got it.
Oh,
that
that one. Yeah.
Tell me
That's-
that's not.
That was my friend, Mary. Who took that? Oh, my friend Beverly.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's very.
that was
who's
very
the lady
old.
on
It's like
Night Court?
2001, maybe 2001.
On Night Court?
Yeah,
Weird.
who was the woman? Who was the woman who played on Night Court?
Oh, Marky Post, the late
Yeah.
Marky Post. Yes.
Yeah, it's a little
But
Marky
PB
Post.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is kind of Marky Posty. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Huh.
she was.
She-
I think.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
is she still alive?
No.
Really?
She
Oh.
died a couple of years ago. Yeah. Well, thanks for dragging
Bum,
us
bum,
down.
bum.
All right.
Who loves comedy?
I'll bring up more dead people shortly.
Okay.
What else?
All right. Let's get into the history of Peggy Boyce. You're from Long Island, yes?
Yes, I grew up in Long Island, actually not too far, right up the street from Governor's Comedy Club. But at the time when I was in that particular building was an S&H green stamp uh, building where you would return your, remember that? Remember green
I remember
stamps?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
get
that was
dishes
where,
and stuff.
yeah, like you could buy a vacuum or, with your stamps. And then it became Barrymore's, which was a bar we would frequent when you could still, like back when you had to be 18 to enter a
Yeah.
bar. So in high
Mhm.
school, when I was like 15, I would take my sister's
We all did that. Yeah.
ID. Yeah. So it was also a bar that my friend, Margaret Costello, I think she walked through the window because it was such a clean window or something. Um, yeah, it was like one of those where she
Is
cracked.
she the late Margaret Costello?
No, she's still with us, but
Oh,
the window's gone. Uh, that whole, yeah, the front part of it. But yeah, I had my
speaking,
first Long Island
stop
iced
you there
tea
for a minute.
there.
Speaking of walking in through windows, I'm watching old episodes of Boston Legal, right? And John LaRoquette, speaking of Night Court, we're making a full circle here. I'm watching the show, and whenever they do a close up on him, I'm noticing that he's got a large scar on the side of his nose, and I'm curious uh, because I'm always interested where scars come from. And mommy, where do scars come from? Anyway,
Huh.
I
Well, if you
look
work
it
really
up.
hard. Oh, sorry.
When I look it up,
Sarah Eisenberg you should have on because she has a whole new show
we had
coming up
her on.
about
We had her on.
scars. Oh, you did?
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah. But can I finish my John Larroquette story?
Oh, yes, please.
What happened was he was filming Stripes. Remember the movie Stripes?
Oh, I love that movie.
Well, he was in it apparently, and he was supposed to run through a door, um, and I guess it was supposed to have been stunt glass or something, but it wasn't. It was real glass, and he cut his nose open, so that's how he got the scar.
Oh,
And I don't remember what brought that up, but
Wow. That
Alex.
oh,
was
your friend Louise Costello,
Margaret Costello.
Margaret Costello.
Yeah,
Well,
who I
Julie calls her Louise because they're butts.
this is like this is like a this is like the insane asylum right now. No, this is I feel like we're at a senior citizens, like this is how people when you get a certain age you start talking like this because like it reminds someone of some other story and
Yes.
then you go down this path and then you just killed like an hour over nothing,
You've never
or
seen this show, apparently. Every show is like this. No, this is like one of our phone calls, PV.
it is. We have a good
Yeah.
riff. We have fun on the phone.
We do. So all right, so let's get back to little Peggy Boyce from Glen Cove. All right, so you go to Catholic grammar school, you go to college? Yes, no?
Yeah, I went to locally. I stayed home for 2 years. Do you think people care about that? I don't know.
No,
I
but
stayed at the local community college because I knew that I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, I'll just take classes locally and I'll work at night, and that's what I did. And then I went away to. I wanted to go to California. I wanted to go to. My grandmother lived right near Northridge, Cal State Northridge, which is a state university. So while I was in high school, I went out, I got my driver's license, I opened a bank account, and I was going to go to school in California because I really wanted to go to California. And then the group, radio, TV, film that I wanted to go into, they were so overloaded. They were like, we can't accept any more students. Wait 2 years and then reapply. And I thought, I got to get out of my house. I can't stay here anymore. So I went away to a school in upstate New York, Oswego, right on Lake Ontario, SUNY Oswego, which has actually it's a pretty good high rated school now, even though it's a state university. It's pretty good. And it was like 6 hours, 6.5 hours from where I grew up. So I was far away from my parents, which was great. And I think everybody should go away to college if they can. certainly the last 2 years was perfect, 2 years.
Did you
And then I did,
major in, what did you major in? Radio and TV?
yeah, yeah. The summer before I graduated from college, I got a job in the Hamptons. And one of the jobs that I had was to pick this guy up at the airport at East Hampton Airport and bring him and his girlfriend back to the resort. And every Friday I would do that. And this guy turned out to be Al Massini. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Well, actually,
We can
It's
bleep it out.
passed. He said since passed away,
Oh.
but he was Al Massini, who was the big. He's the one that came up with what do you do when you have Entertainment Tonight was the first of its kind, and he was the producer of that.
Like a
And
magazine show.
what in television when they show the same show like Wheel of Fortune in all these different markets, what is that? Syndication. He was the one
Syndication.
that-
Oh yeah.
So he was a bigwig, and he had Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. He had all these great shows that he was the producer of. And at the end of the year, Labor Day, he asked me for my resume, and I gave it to him. And then the following summer, he gave me a job, and I worked with Steve Allen.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to get to. It was
Yeah.
a long way. We went via the
We
State
had
of
to go
New
through
York.
death. We had to go through death to get there. Some people.
Steve Allen's one of my idols, one of my comedy idols.
Oh
And
yeah.
tell me-
So okay, so I got this job, and it was in the same offices as Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous, which was like crazy, show. But I worked on the show, and it was really like something out of that old time movie, My Favorite Year. I don't know if you ever saw
Uh-huh.
that.
yeah,
and it
sure,
was
one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies.
Okay, so my job was to run around the city and get props for the shoots that we would do when Steve Allen came to New York when he, to tape the show. So they would send me out with like $1,000 in cash, and I would just go out and buy all this stuff to bring back. And that, my job, it was the greatest job. I mean, I really was spoiled. I worked there for 8 months, I think, and then the show was canceled. And they sent me to like some other division, which would have been selling TV time. And I was so spoiled, and I didn't want to sit behind a desk, And so I ended up just sort of like letting that job go. And
Okay, so we're at a
but
crossroads.
that was my first job out of college. That was my first
All
job.
right. At some point, you decided you wanted to be in front of the camera or performing, right? Correct?
I did. I always was sort of embarrassed about saying that out loud because I was like, I don't
You were
know.
Catholic.
This is really what?
You were Catholic. I had the same problem.
Oh yeah. It just seems so like, like something out of it doesn't make sense. My brother, I have a brother that's an accountant. I have another brother that's a lawyer. These are not things but I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do, but I knew that I was funny, and I knew that people always told me I was funny. I was class comic in college, and in high school they voted me that. And it was like, okay, I don't know. Stand-up comedy seemed like I didn't think that would be my thing, but I thought, well, let me try it, So I took a class with Gabe Abelson at the Comic Strip. And I guess that was
on. We just
oh,
had
really?
him on.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was such a great guy.
he's
And
a sweetheart.
and so after, you take the class, and then you get up and you do your thing. And he did say to me, if you want to do this, you could be successful because you definitely have all the basic things that you're supposed to have. So I was like, okay. And then I just sort of, I would occasionally do open mics in the city and, work. I was working full time while I lived in Manhattan. And so I would do the open mics. And then eventually I met my friend Mary Jo Wobker, who we used to do an open mic in Greenwich Village at this place called Kelly's. And it was every Tuesday night. In fact, that's where I met Suzanne, who I know you had on the other day. And Mary Jo Wobker, I did this, they did a Tuesday night. I got up, I won the $25 they give you when you win. And then she approached me, and she had an open mic up in Nyack, and I went to that. And then she started booking me at all these different places. And it was like great. You know, it was like all of a sudden I'm making like
But you
little bits.
also, did you juggle too? You juggled, right?
Yeah, I was a juggler. I did like, you know, I only threw it in. I'm a very limited juggler. I could only do like 3 objects at a time, or 4. I could do 4, but it was like I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I just would start juggling and talking, and one time I remember I was opening for Joy Behar, and she was like, "Why are you juggling? You're going to be a prop act. You're going to be a prop act. You don't want to be a prop act." So then I was like, "Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
want
great
to."
impression of her too, by the way.
What?
It's a great impression of her.
So I stopped doing the juggling, and then when Mary Jo passed away, I started taking over her bookings, and then that's where the Ladies of Laughter came to pass.
I don't know why I had it in my head that at one point you were a clown. Am I just is that a hallucination in my head?
I hate clowns. I don't know if that
I hate
was,
them too, but I don't know why I had it in my head that you were okay. All right, fuck the clown thing. I had all those clown questions.
Do you know anything about clowns? Can we ask you anyway?
That's gonna be my one. That'll be a good aside. Fuck the clowns.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What's the name of the show? What's the name of this episode?
My next one.
Fuck the clown. Send in the fucking clown. No, don't send him. All right.
You get all these clowns are gonna be picketing.
Oh, I don't
sad.
care. What are they gonna do? Seltzer me?
It'd be sad.
No,
Nobody
my mother
likes
always,
clowns.
because I juggled, my mother thought that I was into being a clown, and she would get me every Christmas like about 20 different clown things. I have so many clowns, and I'm like,
Really?
I'm not a clown. Yeah. I'm not
That's
a clown.
creepy. That is creepy that your mother. And you can't throw it out because your mother gave it to you.
She was insulting me. She was like, "Yeah, here's another clown."
Yeah, be a clown. Yeah. Go.
My daughter, the clown. Here's another clown.
Oh yeah, what's up, Rabbi? My son, the accountant.
My
My
son's
daughter,
a
the clown.
daughter, a clown.
Oh man. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's why I love you, because we have similar backgrounds, even though
You had a tough
you're
mother. I had a tough mother.
different ethnicity, but
Oh, your mom was well, the clown thing is pretty indicative of that's
yeah.
But-
Yeah,
Mom was
no,
tough.
We share a lot of
she's
angst.
a tough woman that collected a
Yeah.
lot of clowns. But
Mostly in the basement of
it's
their
kind of
house, chained to
ironic
the
that she's not
furnace.
very clown-like, and
But
she-
you could have been. You got a
she
choice. You could be a nun or a clown.
she
Oh
she'd
man.
go into Woolworths and go, "Where are your clowns?
Where's the clown department?
What's the
Oh
clown on?"
God. All right, so holy shit, that's funny. All right, so you started. You did public relations. I didn't know that.
I did PR for a while, and that was fun. They would send me all over. I worked for this big company in Manhattan that represented all of these.
clowns.
Ringling Brothers. I'm sorry.
We're never going to get through this. So
We're done.
Fix it in
We're
post.
dead now. It's done.
No, we'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it.
okay,
Shit. All right, go ahead.
They represented a lot of big pharmaceutical companies.
Oh,
And at the time, there were these patches. This is the first patch, the Estroderm patch. And,
yeah.
There was another patch if you had heart problems. I forget what the name of it was, but you'd put that on your chest. It was sort of for, so
It was like
I would go with
nitroglycerin patches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go all over the country with these doctors, and I would book them at these radio and TV stations, and then prep them on what to say when they got on camera. because they would be
Oh.
interviewed about the topic and then slip in the name of the product. Slip in the name of the product. This is way back when PR was like back in Mad Men days almost.
Yeah.
And I would show up with my suit and then, drive them around all over all these markets around the country, but they
Your
put me up at
clown
the
suit? Not the clown suit.
no clowns. No, it was
No
very
clown suit. Okay.
serious.
We
Yeah.
we almost moved on, but she
I'm
had
sorry.
to go back.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
no.
all right. So
You're-
at what point did you
okay.
just say, "I've had enough of this," and then not the show? I mean,
Well, it was
had enough
great. I
of.
loved it because they would send me, I would spend the day driving these people around, but then I'd be in another city and I'd go to a comedy club at night and I would watch, I'd go and I'd watch the comics, or I'd go to the movies, or, but mostly went to comedy clubs, and I had the evenings to myself. So it was like, and I loved, they put me in these 4 or 5-star hotels, Omni, these gorgeous,
Yeah.
and it was when the people had money to do that stuff, and it was fun. It was great. I did that for a couple of years, and then I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm doing my resume here, but there were a few gaps.
No, well, listen. Part of the mission of this show is to sort of find out. We all wind up in comedy somehow, and what I loved about the guests that we get on here is that everybody has a different story and their different path of getting here. That's what we're doing right now.
Right. Well, I kind of had a knack for the PR and I like that aspect of the work, which I think also was how I would always write a press release before a show when I was performing. So I think because I had that business part of me, it's made sense that I would go into the producing part because it put all the elements together. It's the PR, it's the marketing, and then it's the doing the show, getting the people together, and so it kind of made sense that I went up to this end of it. The comedy is great, but I did not like showing up at clubs by myself. Eventually, I hated traveling by myself. I hated going to these clubs and like doing my thing, and it wasn't fun. I like to be with people that I like, and we make it like an adventure, right? But when it was just me, it wasn't fun anymore, and I wanted to have my friends with me. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think creating this other thing was a way to sort of be part of it, but also have a little bit more control than just showing up at a club and you know how sometimes.
Yeah, no, I that's an interesting thing. I didn't know that about you. I mean, comics are you're either driven to do this, and to do stand up like with like a religious, like
Yeah,
a zealot.
I was terrified, and I still am many times when I get on stage very nervous because I know how hard it is to get good, and I know how long it takes, and I also know that you have to keep at it for a really long time. And so I feel very self-conscious. Like people say, "Oh, you're funny. You should just get up there." But I feel like I should be really polished, and that's why I kind of like to let the other ladies go up and do that. Let them shine. They're the ones that are out
Right.
6 nights a week, whatever. They're the ones that are doing the legwork, the hard work, and let me do my job. And if I can get a few minutes where I can get up and introduce the show and maybe get a laugh here or there, then I'm great with that. But I really feel more
Okay.
comfortable behind the scenes. Yeah.
So let's jump ahead then. How did the idea for Ladies of Laughter? Explain what it is first, and how did it come about?
Well, it's more or less like a clown college. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I
No,
feel like
no. Feel free
I feel like
to.
we all just took an edible. But no,
What did she say
I
about
feel
an
like we
edible?
edible.
This whole show is like having eaten a gigantic edible every week. It's like this.
Well, how did I get involved? Well, it was like my friend Mary Jo, who's booking me. She passed away, and before she went into Sloan Kettering, basically gave me her folder and her date book that had all of the dates of the shows she had put together. and phone book and all this. And she never came out of Sloan Kettering. And I knew that she wanted me to kind of carry on these bookings, which
Wow.
at the time was, I tell you, it was a big transition because all these people were my friends. And then all of a sudden I became this booker. And I hated it because all
Mhm.
my friendships now got kind of weird because I
Mhm.
was now paying people or not paying them, like saying, like I couldn't book the same 5 people. I had to spread it around. So there were some people that were getting mad, and I just didn't like it at all. It was just like going from being having this wonderful community to now all of a sudden I was like, oh, look at her. She thinks she did it. And I was like, no, I'm just doing this. And so
Was
that
that a
was sort of,
surprise to you, though? Was that a surprise to you that they suddenly kinda turned on you because now you're a booker, you're on the other
I
side of the
remember I
fence?
was pretty young at the time. Yeah, because some of them were my friends. I felt like they were my friends. And so it was different. It was like, so it was the
Yeah.
first time that I experienced that in the business, where uh, and where it's different now, and
Yeah.
this is different. So, and then I've gotten used to it, over the years, but I never forgot that beginning, how tough it was for me to make that transition to telling people what they had to do or show up here or here's your money or, whatever it was. And, there were a couple people that gave me a hard time about it too. So, but I went through that for a while. I kept booking her things. And then I started working for this other PR company, and I told them my idea of wanting to do a women's comedy, but I wanted to do a tour. I didn't really want to do the contest. The contest
Mhm.
was not even on my radar. And lo and behold, I got a sponsor while I was there, and we met with them, and they're like, what if we do the contest? And so I said, okay, because they wanted to do the contest or whatever. So we ended up doing the contest at this
What year was
YW
this? What year was this?
98. It was called New
98?
Jersey 98,
Yeah, okay.
1998. And it was at the Ridgewood.
What? No, 1898.
The Hessians were there.
It was right after Paul Revere. It was the 1700s. Get your timelines out. There were a lot of red hats. That's all I remember.
Well, they were all clowns, so they were the clowns, the British clowns,
And red noses, yes.
and red noses, yes.
But anyway, so we did this contest called New Jersey's Funniest Female Contest. It was at the Ridgewood YWCA in 1998, and Gilda's Club was just opening a chapter there, and we got all this involvement and then the sponsors got wind of it, and then they approached me, and we ended up getting this huge contract with Anheuser-Busch, and it was right after the first year we did it live. And then that following year, we're in like major venues, like all of the comedy clubs in, New Jersey, Rascals and Bananas,
Yeah.
and where else did we go? We went to Caesars in Atlantic City, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger. We did another competition in Indianapolis, and so all the Midwest women from Chicago and all those other cities, they came to Indianapolis, and that's when Tammy Pescatelli won, and that was
Oh, okay.
year 2000. And so it was just like it went from nothing to this big thing so quickly. It was almost overwhelming. It was too much almost because it was like huge, it got big so quickly. And I was almost like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And then they were like, well, we want to do this in like 25 cities next. And I'm like, I'm at this small company with 5 other people I'm like, how are we going to do this? Like, so the woman that I was working with at Anheuser-Busch, she ended up leaving the company, and then 9/11 happened, and it was just sort of like a bad time at that point, and we never really sort of got the big sponsorship back. But they put me on the map. They put Ladies of Laughter on
Right.
the map. I didn't even want the name Ladies of Laughter. They were the ones that picked that name. They had focus
Really?
groups. Yeah, they really
Wow.
put a lot of money into this.
They had a
And
focus group for it?
they had focus
For the
groups
name?
for the
What
name.
were some of the other names?
I wanted the funniest female comedy series, but they were like, no, we did these focus groups, and they were paying us a lot of money. So I was like, whatever, like I'm fine. And then because it got such, mass appeal, it generated so much attention. I kept the name, and they released the name to me. So I have the actual trademark and the name, Ladies
So
of Laughter.
over the years, who has either been in the contest or won the contest that went on to like big things? Anybody? Any names?
Yeah, Tammy Pescatelli. That was
Tammy. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we
aside
got
from
her on-
Tammy.
Yeah, what would happen is whoever won, especially that competition in the Midwest, Bob and Tom is right. Bob and Tom
Sure,
show. Do you
yeah.
know that?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they're based right in Indianapolis, and so we booked her that morning on that show. So then that sort of put her on the map, and then all of a sudden it was like, and so I would say she was sort of the first big name that
Mhm.
came out of it. We've had a few contestants that got to the finals, like Michelle Buteau.
Yes.
Michelle.
Okay. What year was
Melissa.
that?
That was
Really,
2000.
Melissa? Okay.
And then there's so many, Jessica Kirson, Carrie Louise, all these women that and are friends with, they've been in it.
Anybody
Carrie,
else that I would? Anybody else that I would know?
Big Bang Theory.
Is there anyone else you could think of that you know that was one of the
There
finalists?
was Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer was in it. She was a
Okay.
contestant.
An older lady
Anybody
that had a
else?
sordid past.
I'm sorry.
Was there an older lady that had a little bit of a sordid past?
I think it was. I think we did have Kay Ballard. Kay Ballard was one
Kay
of my.
Ballard.
Yes.
Kay Ballard.
And she really hit it big.
Yeah. She did.
And then there was this woman, she was a pain in the ass. What was her name? Julia.
Oh, I know who that is.
Oh. I have
I'll
to
never
tell you.
forget. Broadway Comedy Club. She took such command of that stage. And in fact, when she put the mic back in, it was like, and there you go. Like it was with one of like it was if you were saying with your hand, and there you go, and you put the mic and you stormed off the stage, and it's like, that's how you do it.
I have to
Yeah.
thank you in front of all of our listeners because you were my first foray into the world of female comics, where I was really unsure of myself. And I think I even mentioned that to you at some
did.
point, and I was nervous about it because
You got in there and you were like, here she is, the Renee Richards of comedy. You like slammed that ball, like you were like, that's it, man. I am so good, and you were just so good. You're just like.
Well, it was good for my self-esteem at the time, and I needed that so badly because it was validation,
Right. Well, I never knew you before you were Julia. So I only know you as Julia. So I was like, wow, this.
So
What?
we it was the beginning of a beautiful friendship too that has lasted. Well, it's been 10 years now that since I did the thing, right?
Let's see, what year was that? 12. That's right, 2012. You were.
Yeah.
I love the snort.
All right, so we've done lots of shows since, but nothing will ever compare to our trip to Washington State.
Look at Kathy's like, well, are you doing another job? Are you supposed to be at your desk doing something?
Oh no.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
I don't want you to
She
get.
works for a radio station.
No,
She works for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
She's a muckety muck.
Oh,
She's an executive.
A little muck, not not a big muck, just a
little
little.
muck? Okay.
Yeah.
No, she's
Little
got muck. The bitch got muck.
Print it. That's on a T-shirt.
Bitch got muck. My goal, by the way, Peggy, my goal with this show to have you on was to get you out of control laughing. So I'm still we're almost
Wow.
there. We've had
Okay,
a couple of
good.
close calls, but
Good warm up. Yeah.
I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to give up until I get you, like I get you on
Okay.
the phone. All
The
right.
challenge is on.
No means no, Julia.
No.
Stop.
So we went, Kath. We went on a tour of what you remember when we went to Washington?
Yes, of course
Yeah,
I
okay.
do.
All right. So you want to just fill in the details, Peg?
Yeah, no, we had there's a couple of theaters that I've been able to do some business with out in Washington State. And so Julia and I we went to Olympia, we went to Bellingham and we had a great time. We just laughed a lot. But I think she had it was after you got out of the hospital, right? It was after.
No, we were the last shows to go in there before COVID. They closed down right after that.
No, but I was going to say, remember when you were bleeding in your hotel room? That was a.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Let me tell you something, Kat. Don't ever rely on Peggy Boyce to save your life if you're in a strange town in a hotel room and you're bleeding.
During COVID, she calls me and said, "I'm bleeding. Help me." And so I called the front desk and I said, "Julia's bleeding in her room. I'm not running over there. It's COVID time." You know what I mean?
That's what she said. I was on blood thinners at the time, and I forget how I cut myself, but I was. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her, forget. This is
No, they
COVID.
came right away to your door with whatever you needed, right? Didn't they?
The housekeeper came and she goes,
Right.
"Would you like fresh towels for that?"
We're gonna have to charge you for these.
No, I said there's someone bleeding. Help them.
There's a sign that says no smoking, no bleeding.
No bleeding.
I call her though. I said, Peggy, I need help. I can't.
Well, what would
She's
you
like,
do if someone said I'm bleeding? Why would I? I'm not a nurse. I don't know. Of course, I would come.
If you were my friend, I would have run up there and helped you.
I wanted to help. I wanted to be smart about it. I didn't want to just be running through the halls. I hope I don't have to operate.
It's like in a plane emergency, you have to put your mask on first before you help other people.
I
She had
was
to make
I
sure
was
she was okay before she could help you.
No,
I
she
was
never
taken
let me.
aback.
I don't know why I brought this up because it clearly was not a good. You were very offended, and I never heard the end of it.
Exhibit A.
It was kind of stupid of me to bring it up.
You
but
never heard the end of it. This is the first time I brought it up since it happened.
No, I remember how upset you were that day when we were eating fish.
I was a little.
Yeah, we went out to a nice fish dinner. Remember?
Yes, I do. We had a good fish dinner.
To build the iron back up from all the blood loss.
Exactly.
That was a really good fish dinner too. That was in
Olympia.
Olympia, that's right,
Olympia.
Olympia. Yeah. Then we went to that place for breakfast where the homeless guy came in. Remember? Maybe that wasn't with you.
I do remember we went to breakfast. I don't remember the homeless guy.
He came in, and I was feeling good. I think I bought him breakfast. I was I just wanted to.
Oh, that's right. You did,
Remember?
didn't you?
Yeah. You know why? Because I have a kind heart, and if he were injured, I would have just thrown
Called
mine.
housekeeping to check and make
sure. So I can't help you. You're COVID.
It wasn't housekeeping.
I know. Anyway, but
so are we? I mean, you're just doing Ladies of Laughter now? Are you involved with any other?
No, that's all I do. I also book speakers. I have a couple of speakers that I try to get work for, and it's most of them are on college campuses and
Okay.
uh, financial literacy, and there's another gentleman that said, but it's mostly Ladies of Laughter right now.
How is that gig now? Are colleges still booking people to come in, or did COVID kind of kill a lot of that?
Well, a lot of people ended up leaving their jobs, and um, I know that most of the people, probably a third of the people that I used to work with at these colleges, no longer at that college. The positions have either been eliminated completely, or they don't do that stuff anymore because college is not what it used to be. I mean, there are colleges having tough time staying open, and you know it used to be, I guess, because of all the debt, that these kids incur when they go to school. And it's not, honestly, I think a lot of people are rethinking college.
And there's online too. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
do
think you're right.
online.
We were just talking about that, like they're going back into the trades
That's right.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you can do
because you
much
can
better
make
as
it.
a plumber.
You could do very
Why not?
well.
Yeah, you can actually make more than you would if you went to
Hmm.
school, got your master's
Sure.
degree,
Right.
and you know, and these people, they go to school forever and they get out and they have all this debt and they never get over it. But I work with a couple of people that generate a lot of business, but their things have sort of changed too. And I mean, it's just it's not what it was before COVID for sure. A lot of the
That
business is not there.
it's
So
hard
I'm
to
trying to,
imagine for us. I mean, as comics, how much COVID. It's hard for civilians to imagine, but how much COVID ruined live comedy, and is only now starting. I think starting to come back. But your shows, you're doing not as many shows as you used to do pre-COVID, right? Are you uh,
about the same between,
about the same?
I usually do between 10 and 20 shows a year. But,
Wow.
so it's, but they're in theaters, and they're
Right.
good gigs. But of course I would like more, but yeah, and every year my goal is to get more than the year before. But even the theaters now they they have to watch, they have to
Sure.
watch what they're doing. And also because of the social media, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there are people that sort of came out of the social media world and now they're getting a lot of work at these theaters. Um,
But they have
and they
no act.
well,
They're bringing a veteran comic or a more developed comic with them, and that person's sort of carrying the load to
yeah, I mean, uh, I think people are at theaters are starting to see that the translation between followers, between people following you on social media and bringing these same people to the club, that there is a big that can happen, uh, and that now we have another job is in the world of comedy, and that is to build numbers, whereas before it was never a thing, and it's so frustrating because it just seems like they just keep giving you another job to do. Like if you're in comedy,
yeah.
or as a comedian for sure. I mean, you used to just, hey, my agent, get me work, right? And now it's
Mhm.
like, oh, get your numbers up, do all the social media stuff now, show up live, do live things, and so it's a whole other world. And I think the theaters are catching some of that. They're going, oh, they have that many followers, and let's
Right.
see. They don't care what the show is. They just want butts in the
I was just
seats.
gonna say that. Yeah, they've never cared what the show was. They
No, I
cared
mean it
about the
really.
seat, and
Their
rightly
jobs,
so, though. Yeah,
right? Their
yeah.
jobs are to keep the audience, to keep the theater filled, the seats
Right.
filled, and that's it. So now you're competing with a lot of other things now.
Yeah.
Are
Um,
you using any of these social media stars in your
Well, some
shows?
of the social media stars have come out of Ladies of Laughter, like Zarna Garg, who is this Indian comedian
Who?
woman. I don't know if you know. She was our
No.
last winner. That was a newcomer, and she's from
Her-
India.
Is that one word? Is that her name? Zarda?
Sarna is her first name. Garg is her last name.
No, I
Sarna.
don't know her.
Okay, well, she's all over the internet. She's got like a zillion TikTok followers, and she's made a whole world. Her whole thing is she's constantly doing videos, posting stuff up. The other one is Dina Blizzard, who was our
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
2004 newcomer winner. And so she's created a whole cottage industry out
Right.
of, being online and creating these videos. And now she has like her own tour. She has all kinds of things. So some people are really able to key into
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
I wish I were one of them. I'm just not. I'm just not
Yeah.
that person.
Julie's a trade comic. Like a
What?
trade craftsman comic.
Up on the
No,
stage, and that's where you work out. You work it out then.
Right.
I do. I've always felt like I could build my audience by giving them a good show.
Right, you do.
But I'm not a social media.
Right. Although you do very funny things on the internet. I've seen your stuff.
Oh, you mean on Facebook?
Stuff in the car stuff.
I haven't done one of those in a couple of years though.
I like those.
Oh, some more pressure. Thanks, Peggy.
So Peggy, we play a little game on the show.
Oh,
Would you like to play? It's called Are You Smarter Than a 70-Year-Old?
This is we're
Sure.
wrapping up the show here. So
yeah, I can tell. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's try it.
okay.
All right, here
Ted.
we go. Question number 1. What was the first message sent by Morse code?
Not Morris code. That was
Morse-
a Jewish guy
Morse
down in
code.
Lower
Morse
East Side.
code.
Morse code.
Morse.
I know
Mayday.
I know the answer to that.
What's that?
Mayday? Mayday?
Okay, I'll tell you at the end. Julia, what do you think?
I know. What hath God wrought?
What?
What hath HATH God wrought?
That's your final answer?
Or what God hath wrought. That's what it was.
All right, next question.
Well, is it right or wrong?
As soon as I hear
All right,
God
you want-
and everything, I get
Okay,
like,
so Peggy, unfortunately, it's not. She was right.
it's
I don't
what?
know how you knew that. It is the answer is what hath God wrought? Anyway,
Wrought?
WROUGHT.
I know it. What?
Wrought.
What?
Not
He's-
ROT.
He's angry, right?
Who, God?
Yes, so.
He wrought
He was angry
Adam and
over the
Eve.
telegraph.
Adam and Eve.
God.
This is the
All right,
worst
go
time
ahead.
ever.
Why is
Go
there-
ahead, Kathy.
I'm having a hair thing here.
I know he went to Catholic school, but come on.
All right. What Italian town is the setting for Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, I know this one.
I know this one too. No,
Caspier.
that's the family name.
Verona. No,
I thought I was going to say
Is
Padua.
that your answer, Verona? Julia, what's your answer?
My answer is Padua.
Peggy Boyce.
Verona.
There you go.
Verona.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Verona.
there's stuff
There you
in
go.
here I
Good
don't
job,
know.
Peggy Boyce.
Yeah. Okay.
I got
What
it
is
in Shakespeare. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What is a single strand of spaghetti called?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetto.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetto.
Julia's right. Spaghetto. You were one vowel away. Spaghetto.
Well, when you see "I" at the end of a Italian word, it's plural.
All
So
right,
it's
so
either
she wouldn't have
singular
known
is
that
either-
if she wasn't taking Italian lessons.
singular. It's either "o" or "a," feminine or masculine or feminine. So that's
Okay.
spaghetti. That was a fix. I knew that one.
I gave her a softball. What U.S. law? By U.S. law, exit signs must be one of what two colors? exit signs must be one of what two colors?
Green and white.
Julia?
Green or blue
Green or red?
or red.
I don't know if I've ever seen a red exit sign, but
I don't think
either.
I've seen one either.
yeah. Green
Oh,
or
oh
red?
no! Wait, you know what? In movie theaters and stores, the ones. The
Oh,
written sign,
right.
you know.
Exit. I'm thinking just cars, but you're
I
right.
was thinking of road signs.
Yeah, I was too, but you were right. All right. Nobody got that one. All right.
Wait,
How
Peggy
many?
got one of them.
No, but nobody got that one.
I did say
I'm
green.
not going to argue. There's no prizes, so
I got 50%.
You did. You did. You get 50% of the prize.
Thank you.
How many legs does a lobster have?
None. Oh, he's got all those little ones. Never mind.
they got the flippers, though. The
8 or 10?
Pick a number.
10.
What do you say, Julia?
legs, actual legs. I'm going to go with 10 too. I agree with Miss Peggy Boyce.
You ladies are not just funny. You're right.
We're smart.
Wow.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Couple more here. What president was a licensed bartender?
Kennedy? No.
He's a licensed drinker, but not a licensed bartender.
And a bootlegger.
Licensed bartender.
I'm going to go with Harry Truman.
I don't know. I'm going to pull something. I'll just say, Nixon.
Lincoln.
I was going to
Really?
say Lincoln for everything.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Everything.
For everything.
Lincoln for everything.
Okay. Couple more.
Who
here.
shot Kennedy? Lincoln.
He's like famous. Everything is Lincoln. The answer is Lincoln.
Everything's Lincoln. Yeah. What percentage of Earth's wildlife is found in the ocean? Between 1 and 100%.
All of it. Or some of it.
Portion? I would say good portion. Probably 60%, 70%.
How could they even know this? How could you even know this?
Where
Give
do
me
you
a
get
number.
these? Yeah.
All right.
How much?
If you count microorganisms, I would have to say it's even higher than that, like 90%.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
94%.
Ooh.
Really high.
Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting?
So do I get that one?
Well, you it's not The Price is Right. I mean,
Right. Yeah, you didn't go over, so you probably you'd win Peggy's too, because you got real close. You won Peggy's 50% of the
Come
prize.
on down, lobster.
right.
What is this, lobster questions, fish? Go ahead.
All right. I got
Yeah.
3 more questions for you. What is California's state animal?
Bear.
Julia?
State animal? Condor.
Is your final answer?
Yeah.
No, Peggy's right.
The bear.
The
I'm
grizzly
kicking your
bear.
butt. I'm kicking your
All right.
butt.
She's kicking your ass.
You're
You have 2
kicking
more
my butt.
chances here.
We're even, I think. We're almost
All right.
even.
Or
Who
even.
did we buy? Who did the U.S. buy Florida from?
Ponce de Leon.
I know
No.
this Yeah,
Spain.
it was like that whole Spanish thing, right?
Spain,
Spanish?
yeah.
Spanish
Spain.
people.
Very good, girls. All right, last question. Where would you find a cricket's ear? And what part of a body
Up
would you find
against
a
the wall,
cricket's
listening to
ear?
the other crickets in the hotel room next door.
With a glass.
Who would I find his,
Where'd you find this? On its foot, on its leg.
maybe on its tail, because it's so freaking loud, it probably can't even deal with that by its head. I mean,
That's true.
Will you stop rubbing your legs? I'm trying to sleep here.
Oh, it is on their legs.
Did you
oh,
say
it's on
that?
his leg.
It's on their
Yeah.
legs, right?
It's on their legs.
Holy
You
so-
said
shit! I didn't even. I was.
That was a pretty close round.
I pulled that one out of my butt. I didn't know that for
Yeah.
sure. I just
Well,
deducted
she
I
it.
would have said
Verona.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
So now
She got
who's
the
kicking
Rona.
whose ass now, PB? Huh?
I gave it to you.
Oh,
The condor.
is that it? Are we done?
More.
We're done.
Oh,
That's
there's
it.
more. Okay.
There's still
But
more.
wait, there's more. Go ahead.
Man, this is like this is so much fun at the insane asylum.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to Mean Girls.
Oh my God. Remember that time Peggy coughed up a lung on the show?
That's
Oh,
right.
that was fun. All
right, go ahead.
Sorry. We're
What
done.
else?
That's it.
Oh,
That's
you
it?
had another one.
Yeah, no,
All right,
that was
well-
it. That was 10.
Peggy, I dare say that this was probably one of the funnest episodes we've ever had. I think we laughed more.
Look at her amazement. She's like, really?
Who, Peggy's amazement?
Yeah, she's like, wow, that's something.
Oh, I think she was expecting that we did like serious
Really?
discussion.
I thought I thought you were going to be like really injecting things and saying things and stopping
I
me
thought-
and
No, didn't we inject things? There
serious
No,
interview.
we injected. No, we injected a little.
was a lot of injecting, Peggy Boyce.
Yeah. I want to see the rerun. I want to see it. I want to see
Yeah, I think
it.
it's going to be
Do
better than
you
you
want
think it is.
to have final production approval here, like for the
Well,
final
I hope
cut?
you're not going to. Yeah. No, I mean, do you really think like? I'm sure. Who's editing? You're editing, Kath?
No, Jim.
No, Jimmy
our,
edits.
our editor.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
or
Jim.
producer, yeah.
You know how to make it interesting.
Oh my God,
Jim
I can't believe she's dissing me like this. Holy
I'm not
shit.
dissing you.
Oh
I
my
feel
God,
like
yeah.
speaking for myself. I'm saying I feel like I wasn't good
You were-
enough for you.
You were
If
great. You were very entertaining. And
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
what she's saying is if we
You
had
can leave the clown part in. I like that.
Jimmy,
Like my
can you
mother-
put thought bubbles over her head? Because she said I thought it was going to be more interesting, and this is like, oh my God, this show blows. That's what you're really saying.
I saw
Yeah.
VH1 pop-up video. I know how this works.
We know the show blows, but that's okay. We like it. It's our.
I like it. I guess I don't watch it all the time, so I haven't seen all of the episodes. But I thought it was.
Well-
I just want to be
or
good for
or
it.
any of the episodes.
Well, you don't want to see. That's why.
I didn't see the last couple of episodes.
or any
Yeah,
of them.
yes, the last 27 episodes that we've done. Yeah, like
Wasn't able to catch those, but I will.
I called her up.
I wasn't.
She didn't
I
even
know you-
remember that we were doing this today.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I now saw the show while I'm doing it.
Are you really
Yeah.
glad, Peg? Are you really, really glad?
She's like, there's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Well, you got a plug? You got anything you want to plug?
Well, two things. We have. When is this going on the air?
A couple of weeks. 2 weeks.
Would be before February 18th.
No.
Oh, okay. So I have a show February 18th. Then we have our shows on the West Coast. March 9th, I'll be flying out, and I
Move
think
your
it's
head
10.
over. Move your head over a little bit. There you go. And now we
March-
can see you. What's she doing? What are you doing? You look like you're going in your shell. Okay.
I feel like I'm Paul Lynn to Block or something. I'm like, remember when they were on Hollywood
Well,
Square?
hell.
They would jump into each other's boxes. Paul
Yes.
Lynn was over there, and like,
That's right.
And-
With the Rosemary Clooney's box.
who's the old guy?
Charlie
Jimmy
Weaver.
Cox. Huh?
Charlie Weaver.
Charlie Weaver, yes.
Yeah. And
Go ahead,
Rosemary.
Charlie. I love
No, that was Charles Nelson Riley. Charles Nelson Riley. Remember? Oh, yeah. Okay. See, you're having fun now. Now it's the end of the fucking show. Now you're having fun. Oh, like an hour. No fun. You were no fun, Peggy
After
Boyce.
every
And
question,
now,
she'd be like, are you sure you want to talk about this?
yeah, really.
This isn't really interesting. Okay, next
Peggy,
question. Are you sure? Because this isn't
I'm
interesting
sorry.
either. I don't know.
I really feel horrible now.
why?
All right.
You're going to look back at this as
This was
I don't know.
when everything changed. when I did this show. I'll think of it as like the turning point for everything.
Yep. It's a pivotal moment that we.
When everything
Thank
went
you.
downhill.
Pivot.
Yeah.
It's when everything turned bad. No, I'm just
dark.
kidding.
Everything went dark. It was dark, very, very dark. All right, I gotta go eat something because I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I'm hungry. And thank you so much for being on.
You're gonna brush me off. All right. So here comes the
pushing
Sandman.
10 minutes ago, you couldn't wait to get out of here. It's like, please, God, let
Now we
lightning
can't break
strike
up
one of
with
these
her.
people. Now
You can't break up with this one. I'm
now
not
you're
getting
gonna.
this. Yeah, you can't make me. I'm
You
gonna
want 5
be-
more questions?
We'll hang up.
She's got
We'll
more
hang up.
questions.
She'll call back. She'll be like, "All right, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?"
I thought we just have our lives on this, just go through our lives, all of us together, and we could just
did.
be on the show.
You mean like
podcast
sisters, like
all
a,
the time.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
just
like
through this. Like
Sure.
we could just hang out and just do this all the time.
Okay. Well, you start.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I do too, and I got to eat something. So we're
All
gonna
right.
get the hell out of here.
You're not going to find this exit to view. That's for sure.
Our viewers are right now asking themselves, when is Peggy Boyce coming back? And the question is,
I'm gonna have to pay somebody.
you're gonna have to. All right.
Yeah.
We gotta. Where's the music? He should. Jimmy,
Cue
get
it
the
up, cue it
goddamn
up,
music
John.
up, please.
What's it, Jim? John?
Jimmy, yeah.
Dan?
Jim.
Jim? Cue it up, Jim. Put the doll down.
Well, let's wrap up episode 20 something. This is a classic. This one will have. Jimmy pulls out little clips to put up. Oh. So I want to thank you so much. I love you, PB.
Bye, Peggy. Thank you.
Will you come
Thank
back?
you so much.
Come back, all right?
Oh yeah, I'll come back. I'll tell another story.
No effing way.
All right, get us out of here, Jimmy.
Oh,
Jimmy.
Oh, God.
10 more questions. Here we go.
Shit. It's a good song.